Hey everyone, I am here in my studio and I'm getting ready to go teach a kids art class that I do once a week at my daughter's school. But before I head out, I wanted to do another little talk from my studio about an older painting that I had recently taken out of storage. It's always nice to go back and look at some older pieces and see kind of where it came from and how not only my style, how it evolved, but also kind of the autobiographical nature of my work. And a lot of my work has some kind of like journal aspects to it. So today I wanted to talk about, give you some insights on a painting that is near and dear to me. It's called Anxious Contentment. And I'm going to flip the phone around and give you some insights if you're interested. So, yeah, this painting is called Anxious Contentment. I painted it in 2005, and that was at the very, very early phases of my fine art career, so to say. This was kind of before I even had a fine art career. This is still when I was still just painting just because I liked painting and had nothing to do with anything with my work, and I had painted this at a point in my life where I just moved to a new house. I was in a beach town in New Jersey, Belmar, and living in this little house across from the water. I was about a mile from the ocean and right across from the marina, and it was a transitional phase of my life. I had just gone through a really horrible breakup a couple of years ago before this piece was done, and I was still kind of recovering from that and trying to reinvent myself, and I was, at an age where trying to figure out my purpose in life and whatnot. And for those of you guys that are local to me from the Jersey Shore, you might be familiar with the Belmar Pier, the fishing pier. And so I used to wake up really, really early, either to surf or often just to meditate. And I would find myself going to this pier quite a bit and watching the sunrise. And usually the kind of the vibe of me meditating was kind of tranquil, but a lot of times what drew me there was actually the anxiety that was pulsing through my veins, stress, and just trying to figure out life and figure out, why am I here? What am I doing? What am I supposed to do with this gift of painting? And so this piece kind of came about from those moments. And I realized as I would sit there and watch the sunrise, how anyone walking by would probably look at me and think I was this like Zen Buddha master type dude, when in reality inside it felt a lot of times like my blood was boiling with anxiety and stress. And I realized at one point that was just part of the journey. And I kind of just accepted that stress and uncertainty. And I used my paintings to try to express that in a way that my words were not capable of doing at the time. And so I guess metaphorically, I used a wave as a symbol of the impending doom that seemed like a possibility at any given moment. And just showing myself really calm and peaceful at the same time, and being okay with that, uncertainty and that wave that could just take you out at any moment. This was about, 6 months or a year before I actually fell into a really dark depression, and so this was kind of a precursor to that. But I wanted to share that with you because a lot of times we all go through moments where our stress, just through life in general, or goals that we haven't attained yet, seem to kind of take over ourselves. And this was, I guess, a year and a half before my art career, kind of took off. And it's kind of crazy how I went from this moment in this painting of just wondering and imagining the possibilities to then falling into a dark depression and not knowing if I could even make it. And then shortly thereafter, I ended up reinventing myself with my career as a painter. So this painting is called Anxious Contentment, and I suppose the title came from just being content with the anxiety that sometimes is within all of us and dealing with that struggle. So I hope that connected with some of you guys. I know I've talked about this before, but I have a mother that's has bipolar pretty bad. I grew up with those sort of topics sort of in the forefront of my mind, and so I've always used art as a therapeutic tool. And I know from talking to some of you and connecting with some of you, you can relate to that. So with lots of love, I have to say peace out right now. I have to go teach a class, and I love you all.